On something else the Prime Minister picked up on there, he spoke about the joint communique from all the health ministers calling on the federal parliament to implement the government's planned crackdown on vaping. Are the Nationals, are you on board with that?
Well, obviously it's going to a Senate committee and we'll respect that process. But we, in terms of our principles, don't believe that a prohibition model has worked. We need better regulation, but we respect the fact that everyone has come to this with the right intent. We're not challenging, and no one is challenging, the science or the health advice that has come from the health professionals. But that's where their expertise ends and where the regulation of this needs to be improved by those that are dealing with it. And what the Nationals fear, and fear clearly, is that we haven't made inroads into this, and particularly for the protection of children. And what we should look at is what has worked in society. And you look at what has worked is the regulation of cigarettes done many, many years ago about the point of sale, the regulation through a licensed point of sale. That makes the policing a lot easier, but also about the contents and the packaging of those products to people only over 18. And that, when it came in over a bit over a decade, had an 80% reduction in juvenile use of cigarettes. And if you look at what's happening at the moment, only about 8% of Australians who vape today actually have a prescription. The prescription model, which is a prohibition model, hasn't worked. And while all the states and the federal government has come to this with the right intent, we're all there with the right intent, I fear that history is going to repeat itself and that prohibition won't work, and that we'll lose another generation of young people who will get onto this and then go to nicotine. I think it's important we look pragmatically at this, look at history, and understand that we've got to do something different to protect children. And when you look at the fact that we've got police shortages right across this state, even here in my home state, the police union tell me they're 4,000 police officers short, and they're struggling to keep juvenile delinquents off the street and keeping people safe. Do you really think the Queensland Police Service are going to have the time to go and be cracking down on this when they're 4,000 police short? I think we need to think differently about this and make sure that we protect children and understand what has worked in the past, but we'll work through this constructively.